I have been called out, unfollowed, and blocked. What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alya if you are new here. Here is the story of how I faked a luxury vacation to Paris during quarantine. I have gathered you all here today to expose myself as a fraud. Yes, that is right. The last 6 photos I have posted on my Instagram are fake. In this video, I will be taking you behind the scenes on set of my apartment, where I took all of the pictures that I then photoshopped into various different photos in Paris. I will also be reading you off some of the comments and messages that I received from different people expressing their thoughts and feelings on this vacation. So first I want to talk about the idea and where it came from. I actually saw somebody post on their Instagram story recently. It said something along the lines of, "We might be off of lockdown soon, so don't be the one to fuck it up for everybody else." And I thought, how outrageous would it be to fuck it up for everybody else? Now obviously if you pay attention and do any of your research, you will know that none of the attractions that I went to in Paris are actually open. What better activity to pass the time and kill my boredom than to outrage the public? So that is exactly what I did. So the first Instagram story that I posted was this one right here. Clearly, I needed a picture of my luggage to really kind of make it look realistic and kind of like put in the minds of people, what is she doing? Is she like crazy? Is she faking it? Is this a joke? The next one that I posted was this one right here, and this is actually when my boyfriend and I were first moving to Ireland. This was the pictures that we took on the plane to document, you know, our move. I actually had to Photoshop my boyfriend's shirt white because the original photo, he is wearing a shirt with my face on it. He made the shirt all on his own. I am not the crazy girlfriend that's like, wear my face because I'm psycho. Following that, I actually found a photo on Google Images, which I'll insert right here, and it is somebody else's picture from their phone that they took of landing into Paris. And it looks perfect because it doesn't look like a professional photo. It looks like a photo you would literally just snap out the window of your plane, which is clearly what they did. So I was like, bam. And obviously because of the lighting and things like that on the plane, it was clear as nighttime. So I had to make it look like we flew in late at night. Therefore, I was not uploading anything really after we landed. So the first message is from one of my friends here in Ireland, and he replied to my Instagram story of me landing in Paris saying, "Travel to France is banned until the 11th of May. Is that so?" Well, I panicked and didn't really know what to say, so I was like, oh, well, they said we can go, we just can't come back. And select flights are still open. He was like, just because there's flights doesn't mean you should be traveling. So he's clearly like, she's retarded. I had to like sell it further though, like it needed to be a little bit more convincing. So I was like, Matt's CEO is making him go for a business meeting. I don't make the rules. But another one of my friends back home, she said, dude, how are you traveling around Europe? We're worried our trip in June is gonna be canceled. And I had to obviously tell her I'm actually not. It's fake for YouTube. People really aren't going anywhere. Then one of my friends from the States replied to this Instagram story here, and she said, yay, where are you going? So this is gonna be a trend. All of my American friends were totally like on board with my traveling, and everyone who was European was like, sis, what are you doing? I couldn't lie to my girlfriends, so I told her that it was top secret, but I was faking a trip to Paris. So then one of my other friends from back home messaged me and she said, bitch, did you tell me you going to Paris? And then I said, I'm not, it's fake for YouTube. And she was like, oh. I was like, is you dumb? So I'm going to insert the footage that I took of taking this first photo, how I did it, the lighting, all that kind of stuff, and then the final photoshopped version. So here is the final result. As you can see, I am sipping some champagne, which is really sparkling water, in the Shangri-La Hotel. So this wouldn't be a luxury vacation if you didn't stay at the Shangri-La, which I checked is like $2,000 a night. Also, the Shangri-La is not taking reservations right now. So that was your second hint. Hint number one, which I forgot to specify, obviously there's not really a lot of flights going in and out of the country, if any, so that was hint number one. Hint number two, Shangri-La not open. I didn't actually geotag the Shangri-La, so that was my bad. I put Paris, France, but clearly I am staying at a 5-star luxury hotel because in this photo As you can see, the Eiffel Tower is right outside my window. Of all the photos, I think this one actually came out the most realistic. The lighting was perfect, the way that I took this on my bed, facing kind of like away from the window so that I'd be a little bit more in shadow to make it more realistic. And I pulled this photo off of the Shangri-La website, and it's perfect because the background is kind of more like warm yellowish, and that's just how my own photo came out. So this one was actually pretty easy to Photoshop in, and then I just added a shadow underneath to make it seem like I'm actually sitting on the bed, not floating in the air. So my first photo got 107 likes and 30 comments, so that's pretty good. That one definitely seemed real. People were on board. They definitely thought that one was a real one. One of my friends commented, he said, "This photo is immaculate. You should sell this to the hotel for real." Somebody else said, "What hotel is this?" And I didn't reply, so he blocked me. The salt, honestly. So obviously, because it's day one, you're gonna go and see the Eiffel Tower first. So I put up this Instagram story here that my friend sent me, and this one actually cracks me up because it's geotagged Eiffel Tower Paris, and I said, why are there so many people here? So clearly the Eiffel Tower isn't open right now, so that is hint number 3. I'm at attractions that aren't actually available to the public. I then posted this video here going down the Eiffel Tower, just again, you know, to add something, make it seem a little bit more realistic. So I wanted to make it seem like each day I was doing a certain activity, I was at a certain area, just to make it seem more realistic. So the next photo clearly had to be something Eiffel Tower related. This is actually the only photo that I forgot to film footage for, and that is this photo right here. So it is me pulling my boyfriend's hand towards the Eiffel Tower. You know, cute, Instagram-y, like blogger style photo. This one was actually pretty easy to Photoshop, to be honest, and I edited the coloring in each one in Lightroom to match the coloring in the photo to make it obviously not seem like I just copied and pasted myself on there. If you look closely though, you can kind of tell this one is photoshopped, which if you look closely you can kind of tell that in every photo. But again, I wanted to start out with like the better photoshopped ones, and as the weekend progressed, slowly drop in like the worst and worst ones, because I wanted people to kind of catch on at the same time. I wanted them to be like, what is she up to? Nobody was like seriously calling me out yet on my photos, and surprisingly no like extreme angry messages. People were more passive aggressive, unfollowing and blocking me. Somebody else messaged me saying, is Paris opened up? I didn't reply. So that was Friday of my vacation. Now we are moving into Saturday, and I will insert the footage of me taking this next photo right now. So this next photo is just a picture of me looking out of a really pretty balcony in France, and you can see the Eiffel Tower in the background. So here is the final result for that. I actually think that this one looks really realistic in my opinion. I don't think a lot of people would necessarily question it. If you look closely at my hands, they're kind of like at a weird angle because I was holding my curtains open. They weren't like flat against like any sort of door frame or anything like that. But the lighting I feel like in this one was pretty spot on. Like obviously my back is in shadow, I'm facing the sun, and I think this one actually looks pretty legit. So I was pretty proud of myself. Almost dropped my phone. At this point, people still weren't like super catching on. So I was like, I need to up my game on the fakeness a little bit. So I wanted to start the day off with seeming like I was going to see some attractions. So the first story I posted was this one here that my friend sent me, and it says, don't these people know that it's not open? And there's like crowds and lines and stuff, which totally wouldn't be happening right now. Then somebody else messaged me and she said, hey girl, are you doing the YouTube challenge where you fake going on a holiday? I was gonna ask in your post, but I didn't want to spoil the video. So she was smart, girl, like you caught me red-handed. She was the first person who like straight up knew exactly what was going on, calling me on my BS. Now moving on to the photo that I posted later in the afternoon. Here is the footage of me taking this photograph. Now of all the photos, this one actually looks probably the least realistic, but I was kind of happy for that because this was Saturday night and I really wanted to, you know, start getting people thinking like something is up here. So here's the final result. As you can see, the coloring is pretty accurate. The color tones of my picture on top of the other picture, they do match up pretty well, but it still does look like I am photoshopped into the image.
No, 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 no.
And this is where I started to get called out a little bit for photoshopping. One of my friends who I hadn't told, she said, haters will say it's photoshopped. And I said, haters gonna hate. Somebody else replied to her comment. He said, yes, ... it's definitely real, with the laughing emojis. Hashtag no hate, just laughs. Another one of my friends messaged me with like the little like eyeglasses, like spy detector emoji. And I said, I'm up to something sneaky. And he was like, I figured, is this one of those I faked a trip to Paris to see if anyone would notice videos? And then to go along with the photo that I posted, I needed to make it seem like I was actually there. So I posted this Instagram story here, which is a boomerang that, again, my friend sent me. And it's just funny because like the clouds and the lighting and everything actually match the picture almost perfectly, so it seems like it's the same day. Then to finish off my outrageous day, I posted this Instagram story here which says dinner with a view. I mean, hello, restaurants? Why would restaurants be open? Like, come on. So that was it for Saturday. Now I'll insert the footage of me taking the next pictures for Sunday. So here's the first picture that I posted for Sunday morning. It is me in the hotel room. I don't know what hint we're on by this point. It's gotta be hint like 5 or 6 by now. I don't even know. Whatever. The next hint in the numerical list would be that this is clearly not the same hotel room that I was in previously. I'm not sure why the Eiffel Tower in this one isn't as close as in the other one when it's the same hotel. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Maybe they're doing some photoshopping of their own. Anyways, I would say this one still looks decently realistic. This one was the hardest one to Photoshop because I had to add a really like realistic shadow streaming in behind me. So that took some Photoshop tutorials to get me there. But the lighting is pretty spot on. It's hitting me the way it's hitting the rest of the room, so that's dandy. Nobody has commented on this photo, so I think people are starting to get sick of my shit. Now I'll insert the footage for taking the final photo of my luxurious trip to Paris. And here is the result for the final photo, which I reveal that I am faking the entire trip. Hello, room service? Yes, I'd like to report a fraud. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That is how I faked my luxury trip to Paris. So that is it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some entertainment out of it. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I might do more things like this in the future. Go over and hit that follow button. I was hoping to get a little bit more hate. A lot of you guys were really supportive, which kind of surprised me. I was expecting, you know, people to really light my ass up, which nobody really did. I don't know if it's because people just think that like I give zero fucks about everything, so there's no point, or if they just didn't want to be confrontational, or if they just knew it was fake from the get-go. Give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you think, if you thought it was realistic, if you follow me on Instagram and you knew the whole time. I would love to hear your reactions. Thank you guys so much for watching.